Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. It's pretty good over here, yo.
Está bueno.
Está bueno.
Está bueno.
And before we get started, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositetotrackpodcast.com. Best thing you can do is share this with somebody else. Share the clips, share the podcast, tell them to subscribe, comment. You guys comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yep. Help us out.
Yes. What you drinking?
Drinking a beer from my Uber driver. I was on a work trip, and yesterday when I was coming back, the Uber driver was like, "Hey, do you drink beer?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Is that a trick question?
Yeah. And then he's like, "Do you like Michelob's?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "You want these?" And he just gave me like a 3 or 4 pack of those. And I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Damn.
And he's like, "Yeah, somebody gave them to me because they couldn't take them, and I didn't want them."
So then when I came home, you had already drank too?
No.
No,
No, I didn't. I had drank them with you.
Well, because I thought I only saw 2, and you just said he gave you 4.
Dude, you're talking shit. You're talking shit right off the bat. You see what you're doing? When you came home, I came home. We saw each other for the first time at jiu-jitsu. You didn't even I was working out, sweating my ass off when we first saw each other.
Okay.
And you're sitting here talking about how I was already 2 freaking giant beers in.
Someone's sensitive.
Talking shit.
So I've been getting Miguel today with my drinks. So I was on a 3-day fast.
And I'm not trying to have none of that shit right now.
It's so good for you.
No.
But yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'll drink my beer.
And so when Miguel goes out of town, normally like I'll do a fast. And it's been a while though. It's been a while since I've done a fast. And it was pretty good. My second day, normally I'm like drained, fatigued, and just like out of it. But I did good.
Yeah.
And I started to feel it's just when I'm out, I'm out. Like I get these bursts of energy.
And when you're down.
And then it depletes.
Yeah.
Right. But it's always towards, 8 o'clock, which is great. Because I had I was working in an office for 8 hours, and didn't sleep well the night before and ran through it. So anyways, I decided to break my fast yesterday. So I had some kimchi. Ooh, yum.
Yeah, sounds delicious.
And some avocado. And this morning I made me a green drink.
With like kale and...
apple, celery, all that good stuff.
Kale.
Lemon.
Kale.
And hey, there was some apple in there.
And kale.
And so Miguel's over here working on the podcast. And I'm like, hey, babe, you want to try this?
Yeah.
And he just looks at it and immediately judges it by its color.
I'm like, nah, get that shit out of here.
Immediately judges it by its color. And first of all, Miguel does not like pulp.
Yeah, I'm going to have to chew. I could see
juice.
it. I'm going to have to chew this drink.
Yeah. So I got him this morning with that. And then right before, you can see I'm drinking a little something.
A glass of shit. If you guys are watching, she's drinking a glass of brown stuff. She walks over, handing me this. She's like, "Here, taste it." I'm like, "No, what? No, you already did this once."
I'm just it.
The thing is, like, sometimes I'm like, I'm like, I have to get myself mentally like, you're gonna drink some nasty shit, and we're gonna be doing this for a while now. Like we're going on a health kick, fucking green drinks for every day, but. Like mentally, I have to there's gonna be ginger in this shit. It's gonna suck. Just go, chug it down. Like when you just walk up like here, I'm like, fuck, no.
You just reminded me I forgot to put ginger in my green drink.
You know what I mean? And like same with that. Like Like there's some and that's just like a. So what this is there's this salt like electrolyte drinks, but they make a chocolate one. And
it was the last one. All the other ones were really good.
There's a reason why it was the last one. There's a reason why it was the last one. Salt watermelon sounds like, okay, Mexicans put salty shit on watermelon. That's a normal thing. But like just a straight up shit chocolate water.
salt.
Yeah.
It's salty sweet.
See, whatever, dude.
I
They should have made it chunky.
Dude. No.
That'd be so gross. Oh my God.
I always get Miguel. I like to have fun. I do. I like to have fun. And so Miguel and I have this thing. Miguel's really good at catching things with his mouth.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so
Did we tell this?
Blueberries, I don't know.
Grapes.
Grapes.
Like I'll catch it from across the room.
From across the room. There he is, like a little bird with his mouth open, waiting for mommy to feed him.
It's another one of my skills that I have.
And there I go.
I'm good at many things.
Whatever. I toss whatever, right? And he just opens his mouth and is ready to receive.
Like a little bird.
And so one day, I'm feeding the dogs their treats. There's these treats. There's salmon. They're dried.
Yeah, they're the freeze-dried salmon treats.
Treats. And they're real stinky. Like you could probably use them to catch fish.
You probably could.
You know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But anyways, so Miguel's across the room.
I'm like looking out the window in the back. Like I'm not paying. I'm just like I'm in my own head, right? Doing something.
Yeah, he's just like whatever. He's in his own zone. And I'm like, babe. And he sees me with my arms up and he knows what that means. I've got him trained.
Like a fucking seal.
And he opens his mouth and it fucking perfectly just lands in his mouth.
Oh, it was bad.
Was it bad?
Yeah. No, as soon as I caught it, I think I chewed it like once and I was like crunch. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
Oh my God. But you used to do some shit to us too. Like
I did.
You know, like
I used to scare the shit out of you guys.
Yeah, I was very nervous.
Like trying to give you guys heart
you.
attacks.
Yeah. I was very nervous to prank you because I never knew
what my reaction was going to be.
What I was going to get back. You know?
Like that. Have you seen the video of there's like this what was it? Oh, there's this kid that was in a trash can, and I think he's scared. Like there's this kid walking by. Mm-hmm. This black kid's walking by, and the kid pops out of the trash can like boo, and the fucking black kid turns it, boom, nails him right in the face. It was just like and instant. You could tell that it was not like on purpose.
No,
it was just like an instant reaction. Bam, just fucking nailed him.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God, so funny.
Yeah, that's.
But
hilarious.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the reaction could be bad, turn off and run away.
Yeah, yeah. So on the last podcast, did I talk about my feelings? I did, huh? Because I kind of took over that a little bit. But I was pretty good, but I was still going through some things, right? When you came home.
Today or yesterday?
No, when you came home.
Yeah.
And we were at the kitchen table. Or you were at the kitchen tables and I was in the kitchen. And I was sharing with you because I always felt that for me to do well, like in a certification or just in learning in general, that I needed to be in a classroom. Like I didn't feel that I was good learning online.
Or on your own.
Or on my own.
Okay.
Right? Because the motivation, I just know me, and I just always felt like there's this thing that just kind of like blocks me when
it's too hard to just learn on your own. Like you have to be shown.
Right. And I love being around people too.
Yeah.
I want that teacher
interaction.
Yeah, that interaction. And so I am taking this neural linguistics programming certification, and I went to a 4-day training, and it's all about learning how to communicate on a deeper level. Like learning people's postures, their tonality, the tone of the voice, just the way they sit.
Mannerisms.
The way they think, the way they, just all of that. And it talks about building rapport, just all this stuff. And so I'm in this class for 4 days, and my mind is just fucking zapped. I'm just like, this is so much information to take in. And the certification I had to do on my own, online. So it wasn't just the 4 days. It's coming home, studying, reading, doing, right?
Yeah. And the certification has its own work aside,
Yes.
assigned to it, where you have to read the book and answer questions. And
Yeah. And so I made the decision that I was going to finish this. And when I thought about it, I got excited because I feel that I'm a starter, not a finisher.
yeah.
Right? Like I'll start something, whether it's books coming up, journaling, just all these things. I'll have all these things in play and then somewhere they get lost.
Yeah.
Right? In my head, I mean. Like I just stopped doing it. So when I thought about this, I'm like, I'm going to fucking finish this certification. It's been such a long time since I've been in class or received a certification. And I always liked school. Like I like to learn. And so I decided I'm going to do this. And you were gone.
Yeah.
And so I started it. And I realized I like this. Like I can do this.
Yeah.
I have until October to finish it. And when you came home, I started talking to you a bit.
Yeah.
About what's come up and what I've learned and all this good stuff. And you and I get into a deeper conversation. And I start being hard on myself.
Yeah. Feeling like you should do more, or you should contribute more, or you should be further along with your coaching business.
Yeah. And, you're talking to me and you're telling me and you're kind of guiding me to see the other side of things. Do you want to share?
Yeah. And yeah, like you really had this feeling of just not doing enough, right? But we've recently had a conversation about like where your business is. Like I'm talking about recently within like the last few months, couple months, like literally in the last 2 or 3 months. So it really hasn't been business wise, hasn't been that long, right? And yeah, what we were talking about is that if you look at it, the business hasn't even been around that long. Like, when did we file the LLC? It's been a year. 1 year. Right? Wasn't the LLC filed in July? And we're going into July now. So still not even a year. These are things to consider. But another thing is that, so like when you think about that kind of stuff, like put it into perspective, right? You are meeting people. There are things like, yes, of course, sometimes we have a feeling that, hey, I need to get some things going, and you start doing a few things and then things start happening. And then sometimes you get tired of doing this shit and you slow down for a little bit and then things slow down. I mean, we all know the best thing is to keep going and be consistent, but that's just not life. But that's not different for, I don't think, anybody. Everybody has a feeling, I think, that they feel like they could do more. Some people have that more and some people have that less. And some people, the people that have it less, it's like, yeah, I could do more, but fuck it. There's tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. Like, you want to have a balance of it. You can't use it as an excuse, but you have to just be like, understand that that's just part of being human, is that we always, maybe that's part of like a survival thing. I need to do more. I need to be better. That's part of what helps us survive. So understanding it that way, and like, yes, you take it into account, but not like, you can be aware of it, and not beat yourself up so much about it. Just know that you got to get busy. Yeah.
It's funny how the conversations that we have, when we're having them, they're way more like intimate.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you feel way more comfortable.
Well, you were
having
sitting
these
on my lap
conversations.
facing me.
Well, I was not there until, right? Because I'm in tears, like talking to him about like how I'm feeling. Like I should be contributing more, when it comes to money and stuff like that. And doing more in the business and just, I see how busy you are and, you traveling and just everything. And I'm living this, like I told you, and I'm living such this beautiful life. Like I am enjoying our children. I am enjoying, what I'm doing. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, just, and there's times where I'll see you stressed.
Yeah.
And I feel
and
that.
I express that sometimes.
Yeah. And that's fine. And I feel that. And it makes me, like feel a certain way. Like I told you, like when you pay the bills, as soon as I hear that.
But I'm just making you like I'm paying the bills. Or
Right.
like if we're
No,
running out of money
yeah.
or whatever, like not running out of money, but if we're like, getting close or shit's getting tight, it's like, all right, well, I'm just for awareness. It's not like hey.
No, I know that. No, I know that. It has nothing to do with you, with what I'm feeling. It's something that's internal because I feel that there should be more. I feel that there should be more.
Yeah.
And so I'm expressing how I'm feeling to Miguel, and Miguel is just holding space for me. Like
I was holding space?
Loving, right?
I'm
like
a space holder now.
So like you were listening to me.
Yeah.
That's what holding space is. You were allowing me to speak what I was feeling in that moment. Like you were there with me. In the present moment, I could tell like we were connected.
Listening. Yeah.
Yes, you were listening.
And responding to what you were saying.
And I can feel your heart. Like I can feel, and you were just looking at me and just smiling at times because it's like, we already have everything. It's like.
Yeah. And one thing that I didn't mention to you while we were sitting there talking, because like you were talking about how you feel like we should have more money. But then, like you said, you see how much I work and all the stuff that I do and the podcast and the editing and whatever. And like before I get into that, I just wanted to say that for like, I don't know how people, it's impossible for me to know or understand how people see me. Right? So I don't know if people look at me like, wow, that dude's got his shit together. That dude's got it going on or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe some people do. Some people don't. Some people maybe like that dude's a fucking mess. I don't know. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But I always, in almost every aspect of my life, almost always, there's a few instances where it's not that way. I always feel like I could do better, could have done better in everything. As good as you may see me at work, and I do good work, I feel I could do more work. I could do better work. I train jiu-jitsu, and you see me train, and I do what I do. I always feel like I could do more. I always feel like I could do better. I get a workout in, and I feel good. I always feel like I could do more and I could have done better. It's with parenting. I always feel like I could have done more. I could have done better. I could do more. I could do better. It's saving money. Like everything. Mm-hmm. Being a better husband. Being like everything. There is nowhere where you could not do better or more. Mm-hmm. So that's just part of us. And I think we have to just learn to accept it and, yes, do better, do more. But not beat yourself up about it.
It's not.
You have to try.
There's a balance.
You have to try.
Yeah, like there's a balance. Like it's continuing. It's growth.
Yeah.
Continuing to grow. It's not doing and doing and doing.
No,
so that
it's for growth.
Are caught in the noise of keeping up with the Joneses or
just doing it for doing its sake.
Right. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about like just becoming a better person.
It's fulfillment.
Overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what you told me was, I don't know how you said it, but everything is now. Like everything. Do you remember how you said that? Like you're getting me to understand that.
Because
and I do this and I practice it, but there's times where I am just so caught up in those negative thoughts that I step out of the present moment.
So being in the present moment, like what we were talking about was, it seemed like it was a money thing, right? Like we need more money so that we can do things. Like we have a dream life, but we don't do all the dream shit that people that live a dream life do, like traveling all over the place and fucking riding camels and shit like that.
I wasn't comparing
like I
us to other people. It's what I would like.
Wanting to but still wanting to travel and ride fucking camels and going and, jumping in a fucking
Dubai
well or
and Turkey
and having all these experiences in life, right? That's like a dream life.
It's a dream life with the life that we have now.
Yeah. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but we don't, like, what I was asking you is, so we need money to do all these things. So how much money? Like, what is the goal? Like, what are we, so when we get to then we're good. No. We're good now. We don't have to go to Egypt. We don't have to go fucking anywhere. Like, I can't even remember exactly, but it was just like being and being together, being with the family. It doesn't take money.
Right.
You could have negative money. Who gives a shit? Try and work out of that. But really, if you inside are happy and you're not stressed about it, kind of, I had a conversation with, on my fighting podcast, Fighting for Your Life. Look us up, Fight Life Pod, Fighting for Your Life podcast. But with Rick, when he opened up his gym, and then we went back and we had an episode together, and he was talking about like what it takes to open up a jiu-jitsu gym. Like you go into debt, like a lot of times, like buying stuff, buying mats, but then you build it. But in that moment, I was thinking, I was like, what is debt? Bless you.
Excuse me.
When you are working and doing your passion, and you get to wake up every day and teach what you love to other people and do what you love all day. If you never made a fucking nickel and you were in debt the entire time, who gives a shit? Like, really? If you made just enough to keep it open till the fucking day you died, who gives a shit? You fucking lived the dream. You don't need money. So just figuring out how, like I told you, if we lost everything, we got to at least have a nice car that's big enough that we could fucking sleep in. And at the end of the day, when we lay down and talk to each other, it'll be all right. Right?
Right.
So we don't need millions of dollars. And when you can just be happy being, you figured it out. And then the things that you do, you can just kind of do them because you love them, because they help you grow. And that is also part of life. But it's not chasing it because there's this thing at the end.
So while Miguel and I are having this conversation, we don't shy away from our children.
Yeah, they were around us while we were talking.
You know, Audrey walked in. She heard the conversation. She sat down. Miguel was sitting at the table. I was standing in the kitchen. She sat down at the table and she was listening. And as Miguel was talking to me, I walked up to him and I sat on him, straddling him. And I was just...
Not like in a sexual way.
No, I was just looking at him and just so like grateful to have you in my life. Like to have you on my side. It's amazing what we've built.
Yeah.
It's nuts. You know, when you look back from the beginning into where we are today. And Audrey's witnessing this. She's seeing this.
Yeah.
And she said, I was feeling that way about myself in jiu-jitsu. And Kyle was telling me what Dad is telling you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's so healthy for them to see these conversations. It's so healthy for them to witness these conversations.
Yeah.
It's healthy for them to see when we have disagreements. It's healthy for them to hear when we're talking about money and how we talk about money.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that because I know that this is rare.
Yeah.
The relationship that we have is rare. The love that we feel, just everything that we've been able to create, that it's rare. And I used to worry that because of what they're witnessing, our children, that because not that we've set a high standard, but they see what a healthy relationship looks like.
Yeah.
And what do you think they're going to want?
Well, I think part of what they're going to learn over time and what they have been learning is being content, being themselves. Like, yes, it's awesome and incredible to be able to share this life with you. But at the end of the day, you have to be okay being yourself. And yeah, I mean, it is, I don't know, it is going to be tough, I think.
Yes.
But there's people out there, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're right, it is rare. Because we didn't start this way.
No. And by the way, I'm so glad you brought that up. Because when you were gone, we were cleaning some shit out.
Yeah.
Underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
And so there's books and journals, and I have tons of journals of just business journals, personal journals, all this stuff. She came across a journal that I wrote in 2012. And I saw that she was starting to read it. And I was like, I asked myself, do I allow her to read this? Because I don't want her to see her dad in that light.
Yeah.
And I said, I need her to see this. It's okay for her to see this. And I told her there's two stories. I said, I wasn't who I am today. Back then, I was very arrogant, prideful, and egotistic, right? I wasn't on the healing process yet. That didn't happen till a year later.
Yeah.
So this is my side of the story, you know?
Yeah.
And she was reading it. She read it. And then afterwards, I was like, see, it wasn't always the way it is today. I said, we had to go through healing. We had to learn together, grow together. to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you love someone, you're going to want to work it through. You're going to want to work it out regardless of the differences.
Yeah. I think, you know, because a lot of times people, I mean, you get together young, right? Mm-hmm. In their 20s, 30s, whatever. And we've all got shit. Like we've talked about in the past, like nobody gets out of childhood unscathed, right? Everybody's got stuff that they're going to have to work out eventually. That's just how it is for most people. And I think the biggest thing is finding somebody that is not controlling, that is open. Like, yes, we have shit. They have a good person in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. They're not controlling to the point where they need like you.
Where they're not allowing you to be you.
Even if you're broken or messed up or whatever, just allowing. And then somebody that's compassionate that'll come back around, you know, eventually. And I was like, I wasn't always that. And you kind of were able to turn me into some, you know, turn me into that or like pull that out of me, you know?
I got you in that state.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was funny because when she was first reading it, I'm like, wait a minute, should I allow her to? And then I was like, no, this might be good for her to see.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's in a relationship right now and he's a really
nice kid.
He's a very nice kid. He helped clean the garage out. Like he's just very helpful, very willing and so open for what is it? Not criticism, but what is it? When you're helping
like
them,
mentorship.
like when you're helping
like
them,
he wants to be mentored,
right? You know, and things that he says or things that he does. Like I'll talk to him and kind of, you know, ask him questions, and yeah, he's so open to receive,
yeah,
and to learn, and so
and to be molded,
and to be molded. But because he sees our relationship and then he has a different relationship at home with his parents, you know, like everyone is different. And so with her, I wanted her to see, you know, because there's things about him, you know,
that and things about her, I'm sure they got to work.
They're both young.
They got to work through,
like it's their
stuff.
First relationship. Right. Like, I'm like, baby, you got to realize that dad and I weren't always the way we didn't have this relationship. The relationship you see today, it was not always this way.
I don't know if we talked about that on the last podcast. You know, like a lot of times people just assuming like, oh, that's a boyfriend and they do boyfriend stuff, you know, but it's like boys aren't taught to be. I mean, a lot of times like you have to learn how to be a boyfriend, you know?
Right.
I don't know. And sometimes, I don't know.
So today, Miguel had an experience.
Yeah.
And he was about to do some push-ups. And I've been wanting to meditate with you.
Yeah.
For so long.
But before we get into that, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com, and subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It all really helps us out. Share it with somebody else. Share the Clips channel with somebody else. Subscribe to the Clips channel. There's still like not that many subscribers on the Clips channel, and that's the one that's really going to help us grow. Also, follow Fighting for Your Life podcast, which is my other show, all about fighting. I was actually martial
interviewing Miguel.
You interviewed me on the last one, talking about some of my martial arts experiences.
Yeah, it actually has a lot of views.
Yeah.
Talking
about, you know, how I've kind of wasted some time in my journey in martial arts by not being focused and not doing what I'm supposed to do, but then getting on track and that sort of thing. But yeah, check it out. And if you guys want to support the show, you guys can click on the support the show tab on our website. That'll take you to our Amazon link, and anything that you purchase through that link helps us out. Or you can also help us out and
you can help us out by going to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod and buy us a virtual drink. And you can subscribe to that on a monthly basis as well.
Yep. Anything else? I think that's it.
Sharing is caring.
Yes, sharing is caring.
Sharing is
caring.
Yeah,
earlier today, not something that I do very often.
You don't do.
Ever. I've only done it a couple times with you.
Yeah. And he was about to start doing push-ups. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm about to do my push-ups. And I go and I'm hugging on him. Did you know what I was going to ask you to do? Or did you think I was just
it's something you wanted. No, I knew you wanted to take me away from doing what I was doing. I didn't know what you wanted to do, but I knew you were trying to take me away from what I was doing.
Yeah. And
it wasn't push-ups, it was pull-ups. And pull-ups suck.
Oh, yeah, pull-ups.
And I had already mentally got myself like, all right, we're doing this.
Yes. And I was trying to get you before that.
And I was like, no, I'm doing it right now.
We've had, today's been such a beautiful day. Even this morning, we woke up,
Did
making
what we
love, and
then we hung out and talked.
Yes. And then, and so I got you and you looked at me like, but you came.
Yeah.
And you said yes. And so you want to share your experience with that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. Yeah, I think I can see the benefit to meditating, but to be honest, one of the first things that I thought, because meditation is clearing your mind, right? But maybe not that. This wasn't meditation.
This was a guided meditation.
Which is not meditation.
Getting you into
I would think that's
a certain state.
Which I would think is not meditation.
It is, it depends. There's different types of meditation.
Okay.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah, there's different types of meditation.
Yeah.
This was a guided meditation.
Okay. Because not as soon as we started, but we started
box breathing.
Box breathing. Well, yeah, box breathing. And then after that, we started
How did you feel with the
talking.
box breathing? Were you paying attention to your body and how you were feeling?
I was.
Okay. How did you feel during the box breathing?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right, or I got to do it more to get a better feel for it. I felt good. I mean,
okay. What is good?
I don't know how to explain. Not too different.
Try to explain.
I felt calm, relaxed.
Okay.
But not very different than when we had first started.
When we first
started.
But
a little bit more, I was a little bit more calm and relaxed after the breathing. Yeah.
Did you notice your heartbeat slowing down? Did you notice your body just
relaxing?
The tension from your body?
Not my heartbeat. I don't notice my heartbeat. I've never noticed my heartbeat like just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's something that you guys can feel or whatever. I haven't.
And this is only his maybe second time.
Yeah. So, but what happened after the box breathing is you started then the guided part started, and you were, I can't remember what was like the first couple things that you were telling me.
I was guiding you to self-love, to love.
Yeah.
To feel.
But once we started talking, like I could hear what you were telling me and what we were going down. But my first initial thoughts was, after the breathing, was I just kind of want to be quiet. And like try not to think. That's what I was thinking we were going to do. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. But then you were guiding me. So then I was like, all right, well, we're doing this, But I was thinking.
You should have told me.
But I was thinking I could see the benefit of just not thinking and trying to just sit here in silence and not think of anything and just be quiet and just be.
Okay. So that's the next one we'll do.
Yeah. But then we started doing the self-love and it was a really cool experience because there was a point where you were talking about releasing self-doubt and releasing judgment and whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't self-doubt. It wasn't exactly judgment, but it was just like these negative feelings or this unworthiness that we have towards ourselves. And when that came up, I was like, nope. Like, I don't have that. Like, I know who I am.
Do you remember when, and I wonder if this is when, because I was telling you, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know who you are. Do you remember me telling you that?
Today?
Yeah. In the meditation.
Yeah. I do remember you saying that.
That's where that was coming from.
And you know, it was funny because you were saying that this was different than other guided meditations that you've done. And you said that your heart was racing.
Right.
And I told you that after that, where's your clipboard at?
It's right there.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Explain a little bit about while I grab that.
I was very excited to be sharing this space with Miguel, the love of my life, my soulmate. And so when I got him to say yes, I was already in a state.
This is the one you wanted to do with me.
And being with the person you love and being able to walk them through this meditation that I was guiding him through. And it wasn't exactly as he's going to read, because I added more things that I felt, things that were coming to me, I added to.
In the moment, yeah.
Yeah, in the moment. But it was such an intimate space that was created.
Yeah. But what you were talking about was like there was a moment during it where you felt your heart racing.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, like, because you told me that afterwards. Right. So I don't know at what moment or whatever. It would be kind of weird if it was at the same time. But this is what you were saying to me. As you continue to breathe, silently repeat the following affirmations to yourself. I am worthy of love. I am deserving of kindness. I embrace myself with compassion. Feel these words resonating within you, each affirmation deepening your connection to self-love. And I think when the word self-love came up, I was like, I'm good. You know, I'm good with myself. I love myself. Yeah. And then after that, it says, allow any feelings of doubt or unworthiness to dissolve in the presence of this loving light. And in that moment, I was like, there is no doubt. There is no unworthiness. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, and like right in that moment, like I felt this just powerfulness.
That's interesting. I wonder, because towards the end of the meditation, after having him box breathe and really just calm and get himself into this state, and, you know, I touch his face and he opens his eyes and I look at him and I'm staring into his soul and I'm crying. And he starts laughing. He's like, why are you crying? I'm like, stay here. Like, stay in this state.
Yeah.
Because I was looking into your soul. I was looking into your eyes. I could feel you. I didn't know, like I couldn't. And some people call it telepathy, where you're looking at someone and you know what they're like thinking.
Yeah.
But I knew how. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I knew what was happening like within you. But I was looking, it was that deep connection of just, looking. I call it a soul to soul conversation. This is a soul to soul conversation.
Like your podcast that you're going to do?
And you and I continued. We stayed in this space for a while talking to each other. And in that moment, I asked you, are you aware of what's happening within? right? Like your feelings, how did you, like what you were going through, like during the meditation, and just noticing the difference in your body.
Yeah.
After the meditation. And also, I didn't share this with you, but I should have when you asked me why I was crying, because those tears were because I felt so deeply connected to you. And our eyes just locked, and I can see you, like really see you. I don't know how to explain that, but it's,
Yeah,
you know,
had a
that
genuine
we've had
connection.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can feel the emotions that were stirring up in you and the ones that were stirring up within me.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause once, yeah, I went with what you were telling me to think about and do and all of that. And a lot of it is like you said, it was self-love, but you were also sharing another story. Damn it. I want to get into that, but there's also something else, but about somebody that you ran into at the gym, and they were talking to you about this judgment. It was the same thing that we were talking about earlier in the podcast, this judgment for yourself that you need to do more, that you need to be more, that you have to contribute more and all this other stuff. And that you have this feeling that it's tied to something
that happened to me as a child, or something that was said to me as a child.
And you were talking to this lady at the gym about it, and she said, "Can you love her anyway?"
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And this meditation that we're doing was about self-love.
Right.
And about loving your imperfections and all these things that you think are wrong with you or whatever. And I was telling you that the way I, like in my head, I picture it as like a little me with like the grown me, the big me.
Yeah.
Like over the
like
little
hugging
me, protecting
little Mikey.
Yeah, just like as a shield to everything that's out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the inner child work.
But you can only protect yourself if you're willing to do that work. That's what that is. And you have to, and it's not easy, and
willing.
it's a lot.
Yeah. I don't think I got into the experience, or did I? The experience that I had.
Yeah. Before we do that, I wanted to share a video with you. That is perfect for like everything that we've been talking about today.
Okay.
It's kind of unexpected. You had no idea.
Thanks.
This was gonna happen.
Tissue.
You might get your tissues ready.
Really?
I ran across this, and it's from a channel called Tonight's Conversation, and it's a video called "Why Do You Love Me?" And it's a couple having a conversation. Check it out.
Why do you love me? That's a simple question.
It is a simple question, but it ain't a simple answer. Because of how you love me. It's a very,
God.
It's a very spiritual love. I've been through a lot, and you never see me for what I've been through. You see me for the best that I give to the world and I give to my family. And when everything starts to weigh on me, you kind of, you breathe life back into me. That's why I love you. I love you because you're you. I love you because you're you to me. I just love you because you're a gift that I get to experience in this life until I don't anymore, until I meet you again. And I'm the woman and you're the man.
Don't do that.
So that's why I love you. It's this thing was it's God engineering. So it's perfect.
Oh, babe.
Y'all gonna make me cry. All right, that was awesome, you guys. I'm gonna cut and just stay.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, that explains it right there. I mean, he did an incredible job. I mean, like I was talking about earlier. This is why, like, the whole money thing, the whole we could do more thing. I told you, if we lose everything and we live in a fucking car with our kids, as long as we got food to eat and we are together, we're going to be all right. And I told you when we were sitting here after meditating that I love you and that I only want to be with you and I want to grow old with you. And just like this guy was talking about, like, I love you for all those reasons, but I wouldn't be me without you. If, like we were talking about earlier on the podcast, when Audrey was reading your diary from 12 years ago, and she was reading things about me, that was me then. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be me today.
And I wouldn't be me without you.
That's crazy. You know? Holy shit, the podcast isn't over. It should be fucking ending right now.
We can end
Now we got
here.
to cry for the last 9 minutes.
No,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
No, that's why I said it's so insane.
Yeah.
Like, because I would not be me without you.
And that's the thing, is I think that's when you have figured this thing out, is when you can just be happy. Just be happy being in the moment in life. And shit, the fact that I can share these moments with you and with the kids and that we can keep doing this thing together is incredible.
Yeah.
Till it's over. Yeah.
You know, as much as it's funny because I almost feel like the tables have turned a little bit.
What do you mean?
Now you're helping me. You know?
That is crazy, huh?
You're coaching me. You're helping me. Yeah. Because there's times where I am down on myself and you're guiding me to see what's important.
Yeah. It's been pretty awesome. And dude, we still got a long way to go. This journey isn't over yet. But we're enjoying it along the way.
Yeah.
You know? We just got to stay in this moment.
And that's what's important. This morning when now I'm going to get into personal stuff, but what is personal with you guys? You guys know everything. You even know what kind of dildos and vibrators we use. If you watched episode 69, or there was another episode, do you remember that where I brought all my dildos and stuff?
God, babe. Look, we've grown. We were just talking about how we've grown.
What? That stuff spices up the bedroom. But anyways, we had to like bring up the energy a bit because the energy was a bit, you know. But this morning, like when we were having our moment together, like I just wanted you. And I told you, I'm like, I feel like making love. Like I want to be close to you. I want to feel the warmth of your body against my body. And I just want to not. And I was just, while we were in the moment and we became one, right? Like I was just feeling how much I love you. And how scared I was before to feel this love. I was so scared to be vulnerable and to give myself and to be open. I was so scared of this love that I am now feeling.
Yeah.
And it's a mutual love. And I am so glad that I allowed myself to allow you to see me. And while we're holding each other, I'm just like so full, like my body is like vibrating with this unconditional love for you and appreciation and gratitude.
Yeah.
And I wanted just to thank you for always like just believing in me, for breathing life into me when I'm feeling down.
You're welcome, babe. Yeah, I mean, while you were just saying that, like, it was making me think of what you did for me, you know, and not giving up on me when you could have, you know, when you could have just been like, all right, enough of this shit. This dude loses his mind all the fucking time, or all he does is play video games, or when he's not playing video games, he's angry. Like, who the fuck wants that? You know? But you didn't give up on me. You kept loving me. And that was the beginning to everything.
I'm
You know?
telling you, love is the highest frequency. Love changes everything. It
Yeah.
really does. Every relationship, it changes everything. And when you can have empathy for those around you, regardless of what they've done to you, to see past that. And instead of saying what's wrong, you know, like, what's wrong with you?
Because the thing is, just
Knowing.
like we have that little us,
Mm-hmm.
they have that little them.
Right.
That little them that's also been through all kinds of shit, just like the little us.
Yep.
And sometimes that little them went through a lot more shit than we did.
Yeah.
Or not. It's just different for everyone. And it affects us all differently. So you can have empathy.
Yeah. And instead of saying, what's wrong with you? It's like, what happened to you? What happened to you that got you this way?
Yeah.
Because that will help you to see them in a different light.
Yeah.
Is it time to barbecue and go swimming?
Almost. Almost. The pool's hot. It's nice and sunny.
Oh, it's like a warm bathtub.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's making this so a lot of times I can recall like what we talked about on the last podcast.
Uh-huh.
Partially because I edit videos during the week.
Yes.
But because we started doing the podcast like a week in advance,
Oh.
I haven't edited the last podcast, so I can barely remember what we talked about on the last one. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, what was the last podcast that we had?
Yeah, I need to start
You know what I mean?
listening so that I know.
But either way, I got to get back to like taking some more notes, because there's just so much that has been going on, so much that happens that we think about. But you know, it's all awesome stuff. This week I had a chance to go to Indiana and check out the University of Notre Dame, which I was thinking about. I've always said that, you know, the Packers. We got the Packers certificate back here. Packers owners, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And,
that's going to be a fun trip.
Yeah, we're going next month to the Packers owners shareholders meeting.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, I got to book hotels and all that. But I always thought like that the Packers, like when my mom was like told me that the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl in preseason. Like that was what got me into football. But when I really looked at it, like that the year that they won the Super Bowl, I was already like 13, I think. So I had already played football. I had been in it. And when I really think about it, what got me into football for the first time was the movie Rudy.
Really?
Because that was an old movie. And I remember as a kid, it's just one of those feel-good movies. If you guys haven't seen the old movie Rudy, spoiler alert, he freaking does awesome, joins the Notre Dame football team. If you haven't, spoiler alert for the movie from the 80s or early 90s. But I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I was like I love that kid. That guy, that little guy. Like, he's so freaking small, and he's like, he get this shit beat out of him, and he's just lying back up, and then people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Right.
You know, but he just loved football so much and wanted, like, he loved his team, he loved his guys, and he just wanted to do well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think everybody has that little guy in there somewhere. Like, we all pull for the underdog. You know what I mean? And I remember watching the movie Rudy, and I was like, dude, I was like, that's kind of cool. And it's kind of like that gladiator shit. Like, they look like gladiators with helmets, and they're tough, and they beat each other. You know, like, I was like, I kind of like football. And I don't know, I that was like one, like, when I really go back and think about it, that was one of the, like, I think I kind of like that. And then I started playing football as a kid. Yeah. And dude, it was really cool to be able to not go back. I'd never been there. I'll go to Indiana for work and then check out the school. We had dinner at the university, at the restaurant there, and saw Chicago a little bit, you know. But yeah, it was an awesome trip. And then I got back just in time to be able to do some work and train jiu-jitsu. And then you came, and we've been hanging out since.
I know, I missed you.
And then now we get to hang out the rest of the weekend.
You know, you have always been this.
What?
Who you are now. You have always been this loving, affectionate, kind, empathetic individual. Always. Your entire life. You were that. But life started to happen to you. And you built this wall. He was always there. Always there. You were Joey. You were Joey.
Yeah.
Joey is that.
Yeah.
But no, you grew up in a very rough part of New York. You couldn't be that.
No.
And survive. I mean, you would have survived, but you understand. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
You understand? Like, you are always who you are right now.
Thanks, babe. I think that is true.
And I think you forgot.
I think that's true for all of us.
Yeah. No, that definitely is.
But I think that's true for all of us. That
we were
innocent.
Yeah.
Whatever you see, whenever you can picture yourself at your most innocent.
Yeah.
That is still you.
Yeah.
It's just that life has happened.
Those pictures I have in my office. This is also my office. I have pictures of our son and our daughter,
and of
daughters, and ourselves when we were children, because we were perfect as children. When we came into this world, we were perfect. We were joy. We were peace. We were love. We were creativity. We believed in ourselves. We were courageous. We were all those things.
That's why it's hard not to smile at a baby, even if you're an angry shit.
Yeah. And then somewhere we lose it. And then it takes an event to occur, or someone or something to help us find us again. Yeah. And that's what I do as a coach. That's what I do. When I was hearing your story, it just dawned, like, you're always who, like, this is who you are. We just peeled back the layers.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We peeled back the layers. We went through the healing process. We talked about things. We shared things.
Yeah. Love you, babe.
Love you too.
And with that, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. Share this episode with somebody else.
Yes.
Let them know what we talked about. Be like, hey, man, I listened to this podcast. Dude, they were talking about some really cool stuff. Check it out. Here's a link.
There you go.
You know, tell them to subscribe. Tell them to like, comment. All that stuff really helps us out.
Yes.
I got mocos coming out.
He's still
I got
crying.
buggers.
Still crying from 9 minutes ago. Or more than that now.
Yes. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching Opposites Attract podcast.
Where we get better.
Together. Bye.